Listen, the So Def family tree is just incredible. You know, and now you guys are doing your 25th anniversary. Mm-hmm. So, and this is, I mean, essentially everybody.
Like I said, not everybody, but I mean, you know, all the artists that have that name that people, you know, marquee. I mean, it's crazy when this happens because I was just having this conversation about, you know, trying to bring out other artists that were part of the label that don't have the long of career. In some kind of way, I got to figure it out, work it out.
Okay. Because the tour is going to be the Brat, Bow Wow, Anthony Hamilton, Jagged Edge, Escape, Bone Crusher, Young Bloods, them Franchise Boys, J-Quan.
Yeah.
When you look at like an artist like a J-Quan, Tipsy was a smash. Mm-hmm. But then you didn't really hear too much after that. I think there was like another single, I think, on the album. I forgot what the name of it was. Yeah. It had some traction, but then it was like, yeah, that was pretty much it. Like, what happened to a J-Quan in terms of your affiliation with it?
Just didn't make more records. I mean, you know, like it was a time where he should have made another album, and it just didn't happen.
Okay, same thing with Bone Crusher.
Yeah, but I mean, once again, I left. You know, this is the same thing like that happened at Columbia. I was at Arista. I signed these artists to Arista. Then I left Arista and I went to run Virgin. When I left Arista, I left Bone Crusher, the Young Bloods, and J-Quan all at Arista. When I leave these artists over there, you know, I don't know what happens with, you know, the companies, because the companies all take this, you know, they take this attitude like, you know, we know what to do with these artists.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You know, you wouldn't even sign these people. But,
right.
You know, I have to let them do what they think they're going to do. And the result is what you're talking about.
Well, you said at one point in an interview, I think with Uprocks, that you feel like you had a greater impact on Atlanta than Outkast.
No, I didn't say that.
You didn't say that?
No, I think people, you know, that's an argument.
I wouldn't disagree. Actually.
I don't even think it's a conversation. I'm an institution. Outkast is a group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a different situation.
You're right.
It's people that came to Atlanta to work for me. Scooter Braun quit college to work for So Def. Mm-hmm. That's a different conversation than, we ain't even talking about putting out records. I'm talking about a straight institution. I found Little John and brought him into my company and hired him as the A&R for So Def. Mm-hmm. That's like people going to school and learning things before they go out into the rest of the world and do what they got to do. It's a whole different situation. If you look at it, I feel like Outkast, we both equally share the same energy as bringing to Atlanta, but a lot of the conversations that I had before Outkast even came out, Criss Cross came out before Outkast.
Yeah, way before.
So the conversations that I was having with a lot of these places was just that I was telling people prior to this that Atlanta's going to be the city that it is right now.
Atlanta is so interesting to me in terms of the hip hop landscape because, you know, we've seen so many situations where a certain region is hot to death and then just cools off. Remember when Houston was just on fire during the whole, Mike Jones and Paul Wall era, and Nelly had St. Louis popping like crazy, and,
But see, I'm going to cut you off. I think that in rap, we exaggerate things so much. When you just said Houston was so on fire, they had like 3 artists. Mike Jones,
Paul Wall, Chameleonaire,
Slim Thug, Chameleonaire. It's more artists out there.
No, you're right. It was right? Those 4.
Yeah, but we talking about as far as and they was very, very hot.
Right, and St. Louis had Nelly,
but
Chingy.
when you talk about Atlanta, you talking about TLC, Escape, Tony Rich, Tony Braxton, Usher, Jermaine Dupri, Dallas Austin, man, Outkast, Organized Noise, Goody Mob. Yeah. Like, when you talk about on fire, I don't know if it's been a city that have a run like Atlanta as far as the multitude as far as R&B and rap going back and forth like this. I don't know if it's ever happened.
Well,
Because these other regions, they all are like one area.
yeah.
You got to think like Usher was #1 in 90 whatever, Usher. Then TLC sold more records than anybody.
Yeah.
This is all Atlanta. Prior to that was Criss Cross.
What I was going to say was that once Atlanta got hot, it's still hot to this day.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the blueprint though. The blueprint is that it's always been a multitude of different artists. You know, T.I. came, Ludacris, Jeezy, Future.
Yeah, but you could look at LA, for example.
LA has always had that run.
Yeah, but at one point LA got kind of cold. You know what I'm saying? At one point Game was like the only LA artist that was popping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was also a lot more internal conflicts with the artists. There was the Blood Crip thing and everything else like that. Like, what do you think that made Atlanta gave Atlanta the ability to continue that run?
Our culture.
The culture.
Our culture. You know, the strip clubs ain't never stopped in Atlanta, and the strip clubs in Atlanta is real.
Records get broken in the strip clubs in Atlanta.
Records get broken in the strip clubs. Everything happens in our strip clubs. The strip clubs are real. It's not like, you know, you throw money to not see nothing. It's real. It's a real spot. It's a real space. You know, it's not. So therefore, the culture is never let. That's never gonna die. That's been going on forever. Before I could get into strip clubs, the strip clubs been popping. So that's been going on forever. So therefore, once the music got inside of that, it won't stop, by the way. Because all the other cities now have picked up on our culture.